Annual report of small business and technology thing at some point. You never know. You never know. Maybe not, but it could happen. But this is a lot of fun. Doing this show every day is a lot of fun. Geeks5 OK says, you have not been on with the Tech Buzz yet. Incorrect, I have been on the Tech Buzz. I was on their panel. I was just talking about that. I was on the Tech Buzz and we were talking about Linux in the workplace. There was another gentleman on the panel that night called Fox. They referred to him as Fox. Anybody know who I'm talking about? Kind of a senior fellow. Nice guy. Oh, man. Was it like on Monday night or something like that? I think it was like on Monday night or something like that. Maybe Monday or Tuesday night. One evening this week, I'm pretty sure it was. I was so busy with everything going on. Hey, my Urban Decay just showed up into the room. How you doing, bud? I always like to give a shout out to our friends here at FrugalTech-Live. We just got done talking about 10 cool free software apps for small to mid-sized companies. And we're talking about the GIMP. Well, the GIMP got a lot of positive reaction. People like the GIMP. I need to get that installed. Actually, I need to do a whole bunch of stuff. Who knows when I'll have time to play with the GIMP. But I just like to manipulate photos and touch up photos and enhance them with the GIMP. I'm wondering when there's going to be a open source version of Lightroom or Apple Aperture. Now that would be sweet. Something that roughly did the same thing. I guess there might even be something out there now that's very, very close to Lightroom. That's, of the two, I would say Lightroom would be probably the better of the two. A lot of people, I guess, have some problems with Aperture. It runs a little slow. Vibrant K says, I try to run as much free stuff at home. Well, PC Info suggested we might consider doing a show called the 100% GPL Office. Now, that's an interesting concept, but we need to come up with a decent accounting package because that is critical stuff for a small mid-sized company. And I guess there's different accounting programs out there, but I've looked at several of them, and I think the leader is GNU Cash. And I'm sorry, but feature for feature, it doesn't hold a candle to QuickBooks. It's just the way it is, unfortunately. But you know what? You can make the same case for Mac. Because although there is a Macintosh version of QuickBooks, if you Google the forums and things about that, most people that have it do not like it. It does not hold a candle to the Windows version. Intuit just does not give the functionality. Halfield says QuickBooks gives a bronze rating with crossover Office. It's not good enough to run critical business stuff on it. Thank you, Halfield. So this is the thing. I've had this debate with some other folks. If you're a company like Intuit, just put yourself in the position of a stockholder. You're a stockholder in Intuit, Adobe, other major software houses. What would be the motivating factor to not produce software for Linux? What is it when they talk about, we know that Windows has 90% market share, that's a given. Why should we spend money developing for the Mac, and also develop for Linux? See, Linux, to me, is a wonderful operating system. It's not marketed correctly. The marketing of Linux and the people that are representative of Linux very ardent supporters of it make too much of a deal about freeware and open source and free. All right? And this is something that's going to scare the absolute bejesus out of a company like Adobe or anybody else that tries to sell professional software. You don't hear Apple, which OS X is built on FreeBSD. You don't hear them going there about all the great cool freeware that you can get from a Mac. Their whole thing is about buying and paying for software such as Photoshop and Microsoft Office and all this sort of thing. Now, this is my opinion, and certainly everybody's got the rights to agree or disagree. But I think as long as the main focus of your operating system is all on the free side, this does not give software houses this warm fuzzy to go out there and spend the money to develop software when people are basically wanting free stuff. That's why they go get Linux. They don't want to pay for software and operating systems. Halfield says, oh, well, we've already been through that. We already read that. Okay. That's my take on it. And I think as long as Linux is kind of presented that way by the public, then I think you're never going to see some of the mainstream apps come to Linux. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, Lordy. It's been a good show today, I think. Got some of our folks come by. We were going to have Jim Martin from Proactive Networks, but he must have got hung up with a client or something, because he has a network consulting firm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, I believe is where he's located at. Good guy, by the way, Proactive Networks. And as we wind things down for this Friday, I want to remind everybody that on Monday, August the 31st, is the big drawing for the StarWind SAN, and we took it up another level. It's the StarWind Enterprise SAN server. And this is going to be an exciting drawing. StarWind is said they have sent out like 700 emails to people inviting them to participate in the show and the drawing. And so we should see a lot of traffic that day. So we want to have an extra good show for everybody. We're going to have Zorian Rotenberg. He is the CEO of StarWind Software. And he's going to talk to us a little bit about SANs, storage area networks, how they work, and the benefits to the small to mid-sized business on a SAN. You know, these things typically are extremely expensive devices, hardware, SANs. It's not untypical for them to cost in the $40,000, $50,000+ price range.